She likes to spread the levity empire, even though it will take her to jump from the top of a building. She doesn't care, 'cause she knows that she'll survive.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Angelina Lerintzo Show. The host, Angelina, is having voice technical difficulties, so I am taking over the interview today. My name is Carmichael Codron, and our guest today here is Jessii Warrhol and White Wolf Mumfus from the Flying Tigers. They have been taking over Second Life Media by storm lately, and today we've asked them to be our guest. Thank you for being here and just staying with us throughout these voice technicalities. We really apologize. We'll try to get Angelina a new mic for the next show. I hope it's okay that I co-host.
Of course, not a problem. We're just so happy to be here today.
I went to the sim a while ago and with a friend, and we could like fly in those planes and like actually like have have like some kind of combat where things explode. Could you tell us some more about it? Like, is the sim like a role play sim, or what kind of sim is it?
Basically, we have at the moment, there are 4 connected sims. We have World War II Tribute, World War II Pacific, World War II Battlefield, and a sim called Hiroshima. We like role play. We do have military customs and military ranks. So, for example, Wulfie here is a colonel. And they do a lot of things, as you mentioned, sort of like flying. We do have an academy where they can learn to fly if they don't know how to fly in Second Life. So it's sort of a variety of things. You don't have to actually, be part of like our groups or in a unit or squadron to actually be able to fly. Our sims are open for anyone who wants to just simply res a plane and fly, or use one of our plane reses.
That's so cool. So how did you and Angelina from Levity Magazine meet? Like, what's the story? Because you mentioned you had her on the Expo sim as well. You gave her a spot there.
Basically, we have the sim owner who's sitting out in the audience. He has a plane making company in Second Life and Next Gen Aviation, and we have a satellite shop in the No Bricks Sims. And one of the Levity magazine writers actually contacted me because No Bricks were the owner there, so that they were contacting tenants, and they wanted some information. And I found out about the magazine, went to the site, and thought, oh, I need to go contact them. Angelina has a very well done site and very well done magazine, and I said I need to contact them to see, what we could do to get them to come to our sims.
Really cool. So, how come you have an expo now? Like, what's like? Is there some kind of anniversary going on? Like, why now?
The purpose of the military expo was when I started working in The Sims, I noticed so many great military and aviation content creators, and I had no idea that all of that existed. And I thought there's probably other people in Second Life who don't know that any of that existed. And I thought it'd be a great idea to bring everyone together and to sort of see the different type of military content creators. So that was our point of the expo. Basically, was to reach a wide audience and let people know that there are great deal of military content creators, aviation themed ones, and people who do a lot of things like that in Second Life. We do have another event this month, which is going to be a Second Life Airport Expo, which is going to sort of highlight the various airports in Second Life that people can go fly to from continent to continent.
I love flying. Like, I'm always at the Blake Seas, and as I've said before, I visited your sims. It's really cool. I read that you are a combat manager. What does that mean? Like, what does that role mean in the Flying Tigers?
I don't actually handle combat. I handle events that are non-combat related. Wulfie here could probably actually go more into details about the combat aspect of it, and I'll let him do that.
Well, we have different kind of events going on at The Sims, right? So Jessii basically takes charge of the... Yes?
I was wondering if you could talk a little louder.
Try something. Alright. As I was saying, yes, Jessii takes charge of the entertainment-based events, so things like clubbing, exposition events, and as a group together, we do actually sit down and we think about combat events, right? And everybody, including Jessii, also takes part in the organization of these combat events. So our combat events would basically be things like group dogfights, group combat, maybe one-on-one individual combat, maybe free-for-all combat. So sometimes we do follow a theme. So for example, recently we had some reenactment battles. So we are trying to recreate some historic battles in World War II, right? So those we do follow a kind of set theme, set setting, and there are more predefined rules as to what people can do, what people cannot do. But most of the time when we don't have a reenactment going, we will organize a more open kind of combat tournaments. Tournaments basically are free-for-alls or last man standing kind of tournaments. Sometimes we also have I remember in the past we used to have events whereby we had air and ground taking part, and recently with the inclusion of the 23rd wing in our group, these air and ground events whereby there's one team comprising of ground elements like infantry, tanks, what have you, and there's another element represented by another group, which is basically your aircraft, and the two elements will go at it in combat, and the winner is basically determined by who's left.
Cool. So basically the Flying Tigers is from a real life group, right? It's the first official American volunteer group, as I understand, and it was designed by President Roosevelt. Is my info correct?
Yes, that's correct. It was actually enacted because when President Roosevelt actually came up with this act, if you will, it was actually before the US had officially entered World War II. So the only way which would allow the US or members within the US military to take part in the war was on a volunteer basis, which is therefore the inclusion of the word volunteer in the term AVG, American Volunteer Group. The Flying Tigers is the first AVG, and basically they were divided into 3 squadrons. And as part of the terms of the contract, all the pilots and manpower that signed up for the AVG basically were paid on a mercenary kind of basis. So they actually get paid for aircraft that they shot down. They served in battle in China. They were actually flying for the Chinese Air Force in support of Chiang Kai-shek. They served, basically, they were there to protect a very vital road, because at that point in time, the entire eastern seaboard of China had already been occupied by the Japanese. So in order to preserve the flow of supplies and manpower in and out of China, China had to depend on this vital road called the Burma Road. So the first AVG was deployed to the Burma Road area to defend it from Japanese attack.